Ankh later tonight.
As sir wishes.
If Carlotta was the werewolf who infected me, I wanted to speak to her as soon as possible. Sheesh! You'd think a guy could take one kiss and wake up the same shape next day, wouldn't you? I headed back the way I came. I couldn't shake the feeling I was being watched.
Who would Sir like to see this time?
Can I see the Count?
I am not in a position to know how good your vision is, but you may see the Count, which I believe is what Sir actually meant in Sir's untutored way.
The Count's health was getting worse. He wasn't making much sense.
Is that you? I knew you'd come for me sooner or later. Is it time? Is it time already? It's been such a long time, hasn't it? We've had fun together, haven't we? Soon enough.
Count?
Soon enough, my dear. Soon enough.
Count? It's Lewton.
He cannot hear you.
Why not?
It's almost his time.
I've seen some scary things in my time. I've seen men driven mad by money or women. I've seen wars where neither side has known what they were fighting over. I've seen Nobby getting out of the shower, and believe me, that was no picnic. I didn't really discover what terror was until I found myself talking to a 7-foot-high skeleton with a scythe. You're deaf!
Am I? You know, I wondered why I was carrying the scythe around.
Am I?
Are you what? A selfish, bitter man who has yet to squander his one last chance at redemption?
Am I dead?
No. It's not your time.
I thought you might have missed me the other day when I was stabbed and you've only just got around to me.
I'm famously punctual.
So why are you here?
I've come out for the Count, so to speak.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I was hoping to ask him a few questions.
You seem remarkably calm for one who has just seen the defeater of empires, the swallower of oceans, the thief of years, the ultimate reality, the harvester of mankind, and the assassin against whom no lock will hold. That's me, in case you have trouble with long sentences.
It's been that kind of week. How long has he got?
That depends on you.
On me? I thought our time was allocated by the fates.
It is true that fate is the ultimate master of life and death. But even fate takes a back seat to the laws of narrative causality.
I don't understand.
Really? Who said you were supposed to?
You might give me a clue.
Let's just say that the actions of one person may change the way the whole story is told.
I don't understand.
Don't worry. It'll all become clear to you at the end.
How come you're here?
I came on my horse.
What is it? A skeletal horse whose hooves spark with flames with each step?
No. Just my horse. I call him Binky.
And he's not a skeleton?
He happens to be very well fed and looked after, thank you very much.
I still don't understand why you're here. I mean, you're death. Shouldn't you be everywhere?
I am everywhere.
But you're here.
Yes. As well. Don't try to work it out. Even I don't fully understand it. It involves really complicated numbers.
You turn up like this for everyone?
Generally, I'm only expected to make an actual appearance on special occasions.
And this is a special occasion?
Not yet. I've arrived ahead of time. But there's going to be a lot of business in Ankh-Morpork soon, so it doesn't hurt for me to get here a little early.
You wouldn't care to tell me more about this, I suppose?
The immediate future is not a matter on which I propose to enlighten you, no.
How come I can see you? Is it something to do with me being a werewolf?
In a sense. It has much more to do with certain other matters.
Such as?
Ordinarily, I am only perceived by those who are about to die.
So you are invisible? That must be useful.
I'm not invisible, as such. People just can't see me. They won't allow themselves to do it. Until it's time, of course. Wizards can see me, and cats. Odd, really, but there you go.
But I can see you.
Indeed. People in a state of heightened awareness sometimes stop seeing what they expect to see and start seeing what is really there.
Like with Gaspode.
Frankly, I think your seeing me has more to do with your quest for the golden sword.
You know about that?
I've been around. I hear things.
Why should the sword be a factor?
Well, it's more to do with narrative causality, as I said.
It's not really a quest. I mean, I'm just investigating a few murders.
Believe me, I know. I was there.
You mentioned narrative causality before.
Did I? I must be becoming careless.
Why? Aren't you allowed to discuss it?
It's not exactly against the rules. But it might ruin it if I told you.
Ruin what?
The story.
Do you know anything about the counterweight killings?
Of course.
You were there?
Well, yes. I have to be. But this is very irregular.
Of course. You know about all these murders, don't you? I mean, you're basically an accessory after the fact. Or possibly before the fact.
Young man, I am the fact.
Well, tell me everything you know.
Are you sure? It would take millions of years.
I meant about this case. We could stop anyone else from being killed.
No. Absolutely not. You can't expect me to be a witness in a murder inquiry. I'm going to take the fifth.
The fifth what?
No one ever says what fifth. They just take it. And I'll have the 6th, 7th, and 15th through 23rd, just to be on the safe side.
So you won't tell me anything?
Oh, lots of things. I like to talk to a man who likes to talk.
But you won't tell me anything about the murders?
I will not. Supposing that caught on. You think I want to spend every day in a witness box?
Even though Death said he wouldn't tell me anything, I had a suspicion that I might be able to learn something if I could just trip him up. I'd have to be careful, though. The last thing I wanted was to get Death upset with me. He's not a guy you want as your enemy. Can't you just tell me who killed Mundy?
I won't squeal, copper. No one will ever say that Death is a pigeon on a stool, you doity. You doity rodent of some sort. I say, this is fun, isn't it?
There must be something you can tell me about Reagan's murder.
What would be the point of your job if I did all your work for you?
I'll make you a deal. You help me, and I'll help you.
Oh yes, that'd do my reputation good, wouldn't it? You sidling up to people and saying, "Hey, sister, you're deader than a bucket of fish." No, thank you.
Okay. I was only trying to be friendly.
I don't have many friends. Don't have the knack, I suppose.
You and me both, pal.
Still, we both have jobs that allow us to get out and meet people.
You can at least tell me why the murderer killed Reagan, Mundy, and Malachite. Surely that wouldn't be a problem.
Look, if I tell you about him, where does it stop? No. I will tell you nothing.
I think it's too late for that.
Bugger. I don't suppose you could forget I said that.
Sure. Thanks for eliminating half of my suspects. So, the murderer was male. Well, that put Carlotta and Sapphire in the clear. Is there anything you'd like to tell me about the murder of the patrician's clerk?
Only that he was a lot less tiresome than you and didn't have such a colorful vocabulary.
Wizards can see you, right?
Indeed.
So they know when they're going to die.
That is also true.
So the reader of esoteric occultism must have known he was about to be murdered.
Knowing when you are going to die and knowing how are two different things.
I was just thinking that I could really use some information on the merchant's murder.
That's funny. I was just thinking about wallpaper. Was there a point you wanted to make?
Perhaps I could trap him into saying something when I knew a little more about how and where the merchant had been killed.
You know, that's very good, the way you make your voice go all tough and gritty like that. Do you have to go to elocution classes?
No.
Do you have a secret code ring or anything?
No.
Oh.
Do you know anything about golden swords?
I've seen a couple in my time.
Such as?
Oh, I don't know. If you've seen one golden sword, you've seen them all.
Do you know anything about jewels?
Jewels? Shiny. Not much use for anything except looking pretty.
Count von Uberwald?
Has it turned cold again? I can't tell.
There's life in the old Count yet.
There will be. Right up until the end.
What about you?
I'll be there.
No, I mean, do you know anything about jewels?
I once had to acquire a diamond for a friend.
Where did you find it?
In a temple. They thought it was the tear of a god.
Was it?
No. Gods never weep. Sometimes the imagination of mankind astonishes me.
You don't know anything about gold-plated jewels?
Sorry, no.
Some moss, found where I was murdered. I don't suppose you know anything about mosses.
Moss? Did you say moss? Plants, yes. Lots of plants here. Can't remember much about them these days. The memory fails. There are books, though. I forget where. Ah, yes, the library.